Hi all, so welcome back. In today's session, I will try to finish as soon as possible the design principle intro part. So I have created mind map for your understanding. Why I created this boundary map, mind map, because of giving you the boundary of design principle, which are the topics, subtopics I'm going to cover in few videos. So that at least as per your requirement, as per your understanding about the design principle, you will get benefited. You will learn lot many things from this series of video, right? So and the most important thing is I promise you the topic, subtopic, and the coverage you will see in this video. You have never seen such things in any design principle discussion, any video available on public forum until today. I'm pretty sure I have the coverage I have given to this video will be suffice for any kind of understanding, any kind of discussion based on design principle in any level of interview or any level of test, any level of organizational values discussion, like anywhere you will go, you will feel these videos are suffice for your understanding purpose. And after that, of course, your own modulation, your own expression will help you to answer any kind of question. But for understanding point of view and the coverage point of view, I believe that this is more than sufficient. I have never seen any public video where people are going beyond than solid principle, which is for my point of understanding, that principle, solid is only a part of design principle, and which is very like 25% of overall design principle concept. Okay, so let me bring I have already created some mind map for you. Let me go to first the where I have to go. Yeah, so GitHub. So just go to my GitHub. I have created over one repository where I can put most of the let's search demo GitHub, and yes. So here, if you open this file, you will see that better to download these things, or you can open here. Okay, let's download it. I think this would be better. So now you will see that how I have divided the design principle. I have divided design principle in two categories. One category is principles derived from OO concept, object-oriented concepts, and another section which primarily deal with derived from standard pattern for large common problems. First, focus on the first part, that principles derived from OO concepts, object-oriented concepts, because most of the design principle, as per the standard book, they fall under principle, this OO concept based principles. Until now, whatever you learned, these all catered only the solid principle, which is like SRP, OCP, LSP, ISP, and DIP. And few people, even if they discussed, they have gone through for the solid extension, which is like dry, don't repeat yourself, KISS, and YAGNI. So these 8 principles, usually most of the people or any video I have found until now, that caters all these 8 maximum. 5 from solid and 3 maybe solid extension. But they never talk in general how industry is understanding principles, design principles. Because in industry, if you try to understand what exactly design principle means, so in industry you will see that many things derived from code structure and system architecture. So people, the design principle has benefit in better code structure, prepare to better code structure, prepare to better design, system design or structure, right? So if so, that means these principles are core ingredients or core attributes to define the better structure of your product, right? So that part I will cater inside here, like 7 principles derived from code structure and system architecture. Then the next section was 7 principles derived from modern software development practices. So industry, there are a huge discussion over the best practices used inside the good brand company and big brand company. So as per my experience of last 20 years, I have gone through many things from where I have just defined development practices, and I just summarize these practices as a 7 principles, right? And so that I will cater in this category. So primarily principles derived from OO concept divided into 3 different subcategories. 7 principles derived from code structure and system design, 7 principles derived from modern software development practices, and rest like solid and solid extension. Okay. So you can understand by now that what are the outer boundary of our discussion, right? These many coverage we will provide in this design discussion. Okay. Now, if you go in more detail in 7 design, what exactly 7 principles derived from code structure and system architecture. So those principles are abstraction, modularity, refinement, and architecture, data protection, patterns, and refactoring. So these 7 are the core understanding, which is actually deriving the principles. And if you are not following these things into your system architecture and code structure, probably your structure is not well defined. So you cannot ignore these things in your design discussion or design formation for any product, right? So that's why it is very important. So another section, which is 7 principles derived from modern software development practices, and those subcategories are like usually it is typically defined like avoid tunnel vision, like don't excuse your vision, right? Broad your vision when you are talking about the design and architecture. Second point is don't reinvent the wheel. Don't waste your time on the things which is already invented. Don't try to reinvent. You will not get any benefit out of it, right? Then the third point, which is respect the traceable method, right? Traceable model. So you have to adopt some traceability model in your design discussion. How to trace something, like, and when you are working in distributed system, you can understand the importance of this part, because it is not easy. It is not a native desktop application or mobile application. Here in distributed system, you have a multiple system spread across the globe, multiple region. So it is very difficult if you don't create traceable model of your overall design and architecture. Otherwise, you won't understand where it will go, what component is creating problem, where it is creating problem, at what time stamp, at which component, which layer. You don't able to find it easily, right? So that's why this is very important when you are talking about distributed system. The fourth is solution must not too far from problem. I will explain you all these terms just to get the overview. I am just going through the one term one by one. The next is fault tolerant, right? So your system should be fault tolerant, because when you are working on robustness of your system, if your system is not fault tolerant, probably you will have lots of issues, right? So definitely required things in your design discussion or design formation, right? Then next important things, how you will make sure your quality. So quality assessment and assurance, right? How you will make sure your product quality, your software quality is up to mark, or at least of the MOU level. Whatever the MOU you have done with customer, whatever the guarantees you have provided to your customer, are your software is providing that kind of quality assessment and assurance. So that kind of tracing and your software should support, your design or architecture should support these kind of assurance, right? And then your system should be okay with accommodation of change, and that is called extensibility, right? Your design and architecture should support accommodation of change. It is not, your system should not like that. If you change something, it will break. So that would not a good design, right? Not so. And if it is not a good design, means you have not followed the right design principle. Okay. Then in solid, I have already explained you 5 plus 3. So 5 is SRP, OCP, LSP, ISP, DIP, and solid extension is dry, kiss, and Yagni. So all these are together is creating boundary for design principle. Okay. Another section which is derived from a standard pattern for large common problems. So this section, I have another mind map I have created, since the space is not enough here. So let me go to that second one is this one, right? So open. Okay, so just bring this window here. Yeah, so if you look at this design pattern section, I have divided into 2 parts: pattern for native application development and pattern for distributed system. Inside this pattern for native application system, we generally following Gang of Four concept, GOF, a very famous book. And I think most of the experienced people here in industry, they know GOF book and they are using it as a Bible, right? Most of them are understanding these patterns, and it is very much required because this is providing you a common set of solution for standard widely used problems, widely replicated problems in software industry, right? And this is categorized, further categorized into 3 categories. One is called creational pattern, another is called structural pattern, and third is called behavioral pattern, right? Under this creational pattern, we are going to cover 5 design pattern, which is first is singleton. Few of you might aware that there are concepts where multi-ton is the extension of singleton, right? So I can cover also the multi-ton design pattern if I have a time, and if video would be allowed, then while covering singleton, I will cover multi-ton also. So this is the extension you will see in our video. Then another section, another design pattern which I will cover inside the creational pattern, that is factory pattern. Okay. The third is prototype pattern, fourth is abstract factory, and fifth is builder. So mostly creational pattern is based on these 5 and one additional which is multi-ton. Okay. So don't worry about the exact understanding, because I will further define and create video for these all topics, subtopics. For your understanding, I will put some code also so that you can easily understand and you can easily refer these codes for your understanding and for your implementation in your project or in your company. Okay, so don't worry for it. Just for now, I'm just setting the boundary of my design principle discussion. Okay. So another section which I already explained you, that is called structural pattern section, and where I can cover adapter pattern, bridge pattern, composite, flyweight, decorator, facade, and proxy. So these are, I think, seven is pattern, which is considered inside the structural pattern. And then another section is behavioral pattern, which is like command pattern, chain of responsive pattern, observer pattern. Many people, you are already aware of this observer pattern, I believe. Iterator pattern, mediator pattern, memento, visitor, state, strategy, and template method. So all these comes into behavioral, and then another segment is pattern for distributed system. So this pattern for distributed system is a very specific area. I'm not sure how much depth we can produce in this thing, because this is very specific who are little experienced people, right? So I will cater that segment also later, but first I will cater this pattern for native application development, and then if I will see that enough motivation for people or for their feedback and comment as we see these things, and if people are interested in knowing pattern for distributed system also, because that area is very vast, and I believe that you have almost 30 to 40 pattern which is part of this distributed system pattern, and lots of things is coming under system design also. So as per our progress, we will try to follow that segment. But this is the boundary. This is like these all videos we will cover inside design principle discussion. And this will create the foundation, the best ever foundation for your understanding, especially for design and architecture understanding. Now, since you see that lots of things is going, I will cover under this section. So I believe that you can understand it will not cover in 1 or 2 days. It may require 4 to 5 weeks to cover all these topics. So I decided, why not create such a good content that everybody in the industry, either he has no experience or he has 20 years of experience, everyone you will get benefited with these kind of videos or these kind of content. So I hope I will try to cover all these things within 4 to 5 weeks of my this segment, this design principle segment. And by the end of 4 or 5 weeks, you are equipped with concept so that you can understand any design, any architecture of any system, either it's a simple or complex. At least you should understand, you will able to understand that system. Now after that, are you able to create new design? Of course, it depends on how much you are understanding it and how much focus you are giving on this understanding, and then how much practical hands-on you are doing with it. Okay. So with this broader segment and broader outer structure or broader boundary definition of design principle, for my understanding from my side, you can understand that these are the broader and boundary of my design principle video series. So yeah, so by this, with this, I'm wrapping this video, because this is just an intro and sharing you the boundary of design principle discussion. And after that, I'm hoping that I will be able to complete in 4 to 5 weeks. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your patiently listening this video. Okay. Thank you.